BMW 320D. You see them everywhere, especially in the UK. All kinds of people drive them, dealers, carers, milkmen, all kinds of people. And you see them everywhere, but is it actually a good car? That's what we're going to be answering today. We'll be diving into some of the points, good points, bad points, and we'll be coming up with a decent conclusion. Welcome to the Biscuit Tin. Obviously, the main part of a car is the heart, so let's look underneath the hood. So here we have got the N47 2-litre diesel engine. BMW, I would say it's a really good engine from my personal experience. Some of the good points I've had is a very good fuel economy. I can get up to 50 miles to the gallon, which is pretty good, especially against the petrol. The power of it, I'd say it's very good for a 2-litre diesel. We're looking at about 181 brake horse, or 184 PS, 180 mark. And the pre-facelift, I believe, is 177 for the pre-facelift, as you know. This is the facelift model, as you can see from the lights. Right, so, N47. Is it a good engine? I'd say overall, yeah, it's pretty good. We've got a cast iron block with an aluminium head, which is a pretty good, decent combination, as most cars come with. Most cars these days will come with all aluminium. So yeah, it's pretty good, and apparently, out of this engine, if you throw some money in her, you can tune her up to anywhere between, I think it's about 250 to 300 brake horse. So yeah, so if you want to throw some money in her, you can, and you can get that little bit extra power out of her. But this one here, she is stock, for now anyway. So obviously that was the good points. Obviously it's not a Beamer if you don't talk about bad points, right? So, a couple bad points on this car. Obviously one that most people are most afraid of is the timing chain. These tend to rattle. I've heard that apparently they rattle anywhere between to 80 to 140k. I know it's quite a big distance. But this one here is on 130k, and I haven't really had any timing chain issues just yet. Touch wood. But yeah, another point is the inlet manifold. We've got swirl flaps in them, and then they tend to get a lot of soot build up on them, and then they tend to get all brittle, start cracking, and get little bits of plastic in your engine. So that's another thing that most people might be scared of. Also, this crankcase pipe here. These tend to mist, and then they will leak a little bit, start misting a little bit of oil, and obviously you'll just start making the engine fade dirty, and obviously you'll be losing oil. And then also the EGR valves. I know on the 177 they are a little bit smaller. And but they do tend to clog up, and then obviously if the valves stuck open, you'll be getting all hot gases inside your manifold, and obviously with the swirl flaps, it's just not a good combination. A lot of people tend to remove them, but I heard that apparently if you remove the EGR, you've got to remove the DPF as well. So it's all a lot of work, but it's a Beamer. It's high maintenance costs. You know what I mean? If you don't want to pay the big bucks, don't get the big cars. You know what I mean? Go buy a Toyota. Right, so obviously that was the engine, we covered the engine, so now we're going to be looking at the other part of the car, which is obviously the suspension, the steering and stuff like that. I know apparently that if you get so this one is a full electric steering system. If you get the ones with the steering pumps and the fluids and stuff, like the older systems, apparently the pumps can tend to go and obviously damage other parts as well. With the wheels, as you can tell, these are M3 wheels, they're not original. That's because I had the 313s. I'll put a picture on them up somewhere, don't know where, but it'll be somewhere. The 313s, they loved cracking. I had a set of 313s in the rears. I had to buy a new alloy, and they just kept cracking previous welds. And if you tried to buy a singular alloy, the rears are always more expensive. Of course, they're the ones that tend to crack. Those that got previous welds on them, they're so expensive. So I had to get a set of M3 wheels, a lot more solid built, and haven't had any issues with them. Also, another thing that tends to go is a bush. The very bottom arm bush of the suspension, they tend to perish, and then it'll start creaking, and then the creak is absolutely horrendous. You'll get all kinds of looks when you're driving through. I drove with a creak for about a month or so, and yeah, everyone always looked at me every morning. You know what I mean? That wasn't because the car was nice, because it was not in a good state at that time. Right, so we touched upon good points and bad points, and overall, the 320D, it is a very good car. Obviously they got their issues, but that's like every car. I suppose it's just a luck of the draw really, innit? You get some new cars with a couple 100 miles out the clock, you know what I mean? They start leaking oil and turbos going. I've like seen that before. So it's all mainly a big luck of the draw, but overall the 320D is very good. But one thing I do have to say, the parts, a lot of money. BMW parts ain't cheap, and I always recommend going for as close as you can to the genuine stuff, whether that be like for a suspension like Shax and Bilstein, or I mean Bosch parts. Do your research, have a look, but just try and get close as you can to genuine, because as many people know, BMWs, they don't like foreign parts. So obviously, BMW being German, as long as with this car you're getting the amazing German car, comfortable, beautiful, it's a nice high quality interior, and obviously BMWs, there's no other car that handles like them. BMW, #1 when it comes to handling. I believe it's something to do with the centre of mass, because apparently they got the engine slightly tilted. They're not like straight up, they're slightly tilted on the engine bay, and that's to help with the centre of mass. So BM really know what they're doing, innit? Right, so obviously we got the facelift model here, which obviously has got the upgraded iDrive system. You can also get the slightly like downgraded one where the screen is a tad bit smaller, but I would always recommend trying to find the one with the bigger screen, just because overall the extra stress you're going to be spending to find the bigger screen with the spec you want, it's definitely so much more worth it. So obviously if we have a look at the map, and obviously if we look at obviously these controls, easy to use, nice on the hand, you know what I mean, you can access it with all your fingers, and obviously it's close to the gear knob. And obviously the map, I'd say it's a pretty good looking map, especially for 2012. Well, the system actually came out in 2008, first in the 7 series. And yeah, newest iPhone I believe in 2008 was the 3GS, I believe. And this 2012, I believe newest phone was the iPhone 5. So I'd say it's actually a pretty good system for its time. Obviously you can update the maps, people like to install Apple CarPlay. I haven't done any of that because I just like the original system. Easy to navigate around, and when it comes to the multimedia, obviously you got your Bluetooth, so you can connect to multiple different phones. You got all these settings here. You'll have more if you had the Harman Kardon upgrade. This hasn't got Harman Kardon, unfortunately. And obviously you got aux, Bluetooth, and also a USB. So if you download music into a USB, pop it in the center armrest and loads of music. And obviously this here is the jukebox feature where you can download CDs. I've invested loads in all different albums and everything, and yeah, it's just good because, you know what I mean, you ain't got to get data, it's all there straight away. And the CD feature, and also DVD. So if you ever get bored, whack on an episode of South Park anywhere, no data, no streaming, CD. Obviously you have to invest in the actual DVD, but yeah, it's a very good system. And yeah, I'd highly recommend anyone, if they're going to go for this generation of BMW, to definitely go for the upgraded iDrive system. It just completely changes the quality of life to the car. Right, in conclusion, overall I would say the 320D is a very good car. Obviously it's got its maintenance costs, it's got its fair hiccups of the car, but overall it's really good. Especially the 320D, you're going to get that good fuel economy, and it's just going to be like a bottomless biscuit tin. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed my first video. Please like, subscribe, and there's going to be plenty more to come. I've got some decent stuff planned for this channel, so as long as you guys like it, I will keep uploading.